book is Charlie and Lola, my best friend. I have this little sister Lola. She is small and very funny. Shh, Charlie, you must keep still, otherwise our spell won't work. Lola has this friend, Lola. I can smell a Charlie, says Lola. Lola says, you are going to be turned into a stinky toad. Lola and Lola are best friends. They share everything. Lola says, I don't like my orange today. It's too orange. Lola says, I don't think I like my banana today. It's too banana. Let's swap. And when Mrs. Hanson says, get into pairs, they always go together. Lola and Lola both love looking at the school fish pond. What are all those black wiggly things? Says Lola. They're tadpoles, says Lola. They turn into frogs. Lola says, look at the tadpoles. They're playing hide and seek. Look, the big orange fish is still in bed. He looks sleepy. Then Lola hears a ringing noise. Ring, ring! Quick, Lola, it's the school bell. Hurry up, Lola. Just gotta get my things, Lola. When Lola gets in the classroom, Lola says, this is Evie. She's new. Hello, Evie, says Lola. I'm Lola. I'm Lola, says Lola. And Mrs. Hanson asked me to look after you. We must show Evie where everything is, says Lola. This is the corridor, and you have to do walking, not running. Otherwise, you'll be told, no running, says Lola. And these are coat holders for hanging up your coat. Yes, and you'll probably get one next to mine, says Lola. And this is the wall, says Lola. Yes, a wall, says Lola. Oh, says Evie. And this is where we eat our lunch, says Lola. I wish I had something orange. I wish I had something yellow, says Lola. Let's swap, says Evie. So Lola and Evie swap. In the sand pit, Lola says, I know, let's join them up. Shall I join up too? Says Lola. No, says Lola, because then you can come and visit. Oh, says Lola. When we get home from school, I say, what's wrong, Lola? Lola says, I don't think Lola likes me anymore. And I say, but she's your best friend. You do everything together. That was ages ago, says Lola. And I say, that was only last week. Perhaps you'll be best friends again tomorrow. Do you think so, Charlie? The next day, Lola sees Lola playing with Evie. Lola says, Evie, in the world of pond live all these millions of tiny tadpoles, and they're always playing hide and seek. I don't think tadpoles play hide and seek, says Evie. Says Lola. Then she says, Evie, Mom said you can come over to play. At bedtime, I say, so, how was Lola today? Are you best friends again? No, says Lola. Lola's not my bestest friend anymore. The next day, Marv says, Lola seems a bit down in the dumps. And I say, yes. She says Lola has a new best friend. Then we have an idea. We swing Lola high in the air. Meanwhile, Lola says, maybe the tadpoles will wake the big fish up with all their playing and shouting. Tadpoles don't shout, said Evie. Do it again, says Lola. Oh, says Lola. Look, there's Lola. Lola, shouts Lola. Do you want to come and see what's in the pond? Lola says, oh, those tadpoles are going to wake up the big fish with all their shouting. And Lola says, that's exactly what I said. Lola says, where's Evie gone? She's over there playing, says Lola. Then Lola says, Lola, I saw Charlie and Marv swinging you, and it looked really fun. And Lola says, Charlie and Marv, will you give my bestest friend Lola a swing? Whee! The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is when Charlie and Marv give Lola a swing. This book is I Slightly Want to Go Home, a Charlie and Lola book. I have this little sister Lola. She is small and very funny. Lola's practicing sleeping because tonight she's having her first sleepover at Lola's house. When Lola arrives, Lola says, You're here, Lola! I have a surprise. Later we're going to have a midnight feast. Lola says, Goody! Can we have it now? But Lola says, No, a midnight feast comes at the very end. We do all kinds of fun things first. We'll play Go Fish and dress up and do drawing and coloring. Afterward, Lola says, Is it time for our midnight feast yet? But Lola says, No, we've got to take baths first. Lola, why are you brushing your teeth now? Asked Lola. Lola says, I always brush my teeth before the bath. When do you brush your teeth? Oh, says Lola, I always brush my teeth after bath time. And after bath time, Lola says, I watch my pony show. Oh, says Lola, I usually watch Pirate Squid Bones because it's Charlie's favorite. Lola says, Mom says we have 10 minutes before lights out. So Lola says, Is it time for a midnight feast yet? And Lola says, Yes, yes, yes. Finally, it's time for lights out. Lola says, Now let's get Foxy ready for bed. Yes, yes, says Lola. And Lola says, Now then, Foxy, you can sleep over here in a special bed. Time to put out the light. Night, night, Lola. Lola switches off the light, but Lola turns it on again. Lola says, What's the matter, Lola? And Lola says, I want to go home. Why do you want to go home? Lola asks. And Lola says, I think maybe it's the floor bed. So Lola and Lola trade beds. Lola says, and I really need to have Foxy in bed with me. So Lola gets Foxy. Here, Lola says. Does that make you feel more better? But Lola says, everything is a bit too different. We didn't even play I Went to the Moon. Me and Charlie always play that. Okay, says Lola, but how do we play? So Lola says, first we pretend we're going to the moon. Then we take turns saying funny things to bring. Lola says, I went to the moon and took sunglasses. Your turn. Lola says, I went to the moon and took sunglasses and a pony. Then Lola says, I went to the moon and took sunglasses, a pony, and a bird. Then Lola says, your turn, Lola, Lola. But Lola's fast asleep. Oh, says Lola. Night, night, Lola. The end. What is your favorite part of the story? My favorite part of the story is when they have their midnight feast. Thank you for reading with me.